good evening, or afternoon, or morning, or wherever you're at in the world, my friends. Today is one of those rare Fridays, rather. It's not going to be Saturday or Sunday. It's Friday, Marshall. One of those rare Fridays that I do a video. Because today, there's things on my heart. It's going to be a random bits episode where I just want to share what's there, what's coming up for me. And so if you're new to me, what I do is I help codependents rediscover their happiness after narcissistic abuse by helping them heal the trauma bond, discover who they are, and create happy, healthy relationships in their world. And that's what I do. So if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, or Facebook, hi. I'm going to share this out now to the community real quick. So if you're looking for a safe haven here on the internet where you can find support and guidance, tools, and understanding in your journey, go above on Facebook, below on YouTube, to the description, and there'll be a link to the community. You can apply there. Join us. We are a secure, safe space because I audit who comes in. We have very clear rules about communication and boundaries and things like that. So you're welcome to show up there. So let me know, guys, in the comments that you're here. Just see who shows up here at 2:49 in the afternoon. It's nice to see you all. So, sharing what's on my heart. There's a thing. Have you ever experienced or felt like you want to say something? You just want to share something, right? That is what's boiling up inside of me today, because I've been working on the Heal Yourself strategy and doing some rework in some of the modules for that training, because that's my premier training in healing codependency and the trauma bond. And then I'm working with students, working with private clients, and working with the members of the community. And I'm always, this week, I've been struck with the vulnerability and courage that it takes to do this work. I mean, I've done it. And sometimes when you're a little farther down the road, you lose a little touch. You lose a little touch with what got you there, right? And so seeing the wrestle and the struggle and the courage and the triumph of that, I want to celebrate that. I want to put a light on that and honor and hold space for that, because that's a big deal. This is not easy work. I mean, who signs up for it, right? It's not something we're asking for. It's something we're seeking relief from. The trauma, the confusion, the struggle, to know ourselves, to know if something is healthy or not, to try to discern reality from what we've been told is real. And so I want to honor your guys' courage and strength and persistence and valor in that, because it's not an easy thing. You're doing, in my opinion, the hardest work you'll ever do, because I honestly have never done harder work than being myself and allowing myself to inherit the consequences that come with that, to stay loyal to myself, to regulate, to work through the traumas that may come up that inhibit that, and to build safe, secure attachment and bond with myself and with the people that really matter to me in my world. That's really the journey here. That's why I focus on those three things, is to heal the trauma bond, to really know and live who we are, and then to share that with others, to create relationship, because we deserve that. And having grown up in an environment and a life where relationship was violent, it was scary, it was exploitive, it was violating, to have safe relationship is like a peak experience. It's a profound impact on me, and that's finding out that that's possible was one of the biggest milestones in my life, to actually experience safety with another human being while I was in a space of distress, of pain, of hurt, of need. And for them to respond with kindness and warmth and regard and care. That's a big deal. And this is why I do that work. I see the hope. I see the light my students' eyes just come alive when they start realizing that I'm not crazy. I'm not bad. This is real. I've been going through this. Isn't my fault. I'm not causing this because of who I am. My needs actually matter. My feelings might even matter. Yeah. And then that hope starts to translate into behavior change and perspective change, not necessarily just towards others, but towards themselves, towards the experience of, I do matter. I actually kind of matter to me. The student, the client, you guys start to occupy the space of being you. That's, for me, that's a huge moment. That is it's a significant milestone because it is the exit from codependent relating. It's an exit from the enmeshment. It shows up in that. Hi, Oda. Hi, Suyin. Am I saying your note, Suyin? Am I saying that right? Let me know, because names matter and how they're pronounced matters, and that's something that I work really hard to value. So yes, but yeah, this is and thank you guys for that. Thank you. It's about that. We say codependency is a relationship thing. Relationship to ourselves, to our needs, to our safety, to our wants, to other people, to attachments. It's got all these little dimensions to it. But ultimately, what we're really seeking is that connection. We're seeking the belonging, the being with ourselves, the being with others. It's not just let's learn to love myself. It's also learning to receive love from others, to allow ourselves to love others, and to allow ourselves to be loved. So it's a love wound there, and working that out, because that's the attachment component. And I'm just listening to my body when I pause here, because I don't want you to think, oh, what's going on? It's more like, what wants to speak? When I started doing my mentoring, or I was apprenticed actually, I was apprenticed in a shamanic approach for healing trauma and soul retrieval, and this energy in me right now is really aligned with that kind of listening that's required for healing to happen, and for the message to be conveyed. And I think that listening to ourselves, I guess, wants to be a message today too. Because when we look at listening to ourselves and sensing into us, we're taking a huge risk. When we come from a background where being ourselves was received with vitriol or ignorance or rejection or a withdrawal of love, attention, and being valued, tuning into ourselves is risk. Are they going to leave me because I'm going to be me? Are they going to hate me because I have a different point of view? This is the rub. And I want to bring light to that and bring honor and space to that, because that is the practice of being ourselves. So when you talk about healing codependency, it's learning how to occupy our space by restoring safety to feeling, and then restoring our sense of power, our autonomy in it, and then restoring safe attachment to ourselves, and then executing. There's a specific word for it. We start to execute this power. We start to actualize ourselves and individuate ourselves there. That next step moves us from there. Our next step is the knowing of the self, and that is the listening within this space we occupy as ourselves. Is listening to that. It's giving that space to find voice. So what's alive in you right now, in your body? Because like for me, it's just right here. And it's just like say. That's what it's doing. That's part of you speaking. Your pain is part of that speaking. Your joy, that giddy child within you, is part of that speaking. Maybe this year, we'll see. But there is a returning to child course I want to teach to get us back into not just the healing spectrum, but it's really about the play spectrum. Being the playful self. Like you look behind me right here. I am an avid gamer. I've done computer games. Started with Atari 2600 with Pong in 1981, 82. And since then I've been in tournaments and played. I love gaming, and I really enjoy gaming with others. That's something I the storytelling, you can get really into it, things like that's really cool to me. If you look over here, I'm a big fan of Battlestar Galactica. There's my children, Star Trek, things like that. I'm a sci-fi nerd. I've written several novels, sci-fi novels. This is part of play. And then the other aspect of play is kind of like the mess. No, it's not all that messy today. But the mess of creation, the mess of exploration. These are parts of us coming alive again. Once we're anchored in embodying ourselves. Because living beyond codependency is the living of ourselves. And then building and maintaining and nurturing these connections we create with other people, places, and things in our world. And that's, I want to call light to that and honor to that. Because that's blankety blank. It's extremely courageous work to play after you've been harmed for being playful, after you've been attacked for it, when you've been impressed upon to be productive as your value, but not allowed to play, not being played with. When a parent gets down on the child's level and plays in the child's world, that's bonding. When the children play with each other in safe ways, bonding. When we allow our playfulness to lead a little bit in our world, that's bonding. So many of us on this journey have been cut off from that beauty. And as we begin to heal, that comes alive again. So I want to speak, I just wanted to give voice to that, because that, in these random bits, they tend to wander. Because I don't script them out, I don't structure them, I just kind of follow what shows up. So I want to look at the comments real quick. Su Yen like the coin. Okay. I probably, do you have a Google video that could do it? Because not sure on the coin thing. Okay, so in tune with yourself. I wish I could get that peaceful. I find this moving, a very moving randomness. Thank you, Kaya. Clarity or charity. It's about, some of it's about peace, but a lot of it's about safety. So in the Heal Yourself strategy, we do 5 classes, 5 core practices on restoring safety. Safety. So safety has three specific dimensions to it. So if we're going to accomplish peace, we have to understand that peace is a product of internal and external conditions that we have nurtured. We've cultivated them. And so internally, peace is dependent on a sense of integrity or congruence with ourselves, that we're no longer in the act of questioning the validity of our concerns, our feelings, wants, needs, or person. We are more in an active state of alliance with these things and parenting them. So there's no more judgment involved. There's just simple awareness and respect and accountability to what is there. So internally, it's about alignment and integrity with ourselves, so that we're making choices that matter to us, choosing to be with people that value us. And that gets into the relational safety. So let me clarify this a little bit, because safety requires physical safety, emotional safety, and relational safety. And once safety is established, we got the physical safety. Am I physically safe? Yes. If I'm emotionally safe, that means I'm both internally willing to receive what I feel and respect it. And then externally, people respect the feelings I convey. They are valued by those individuals. So there's a little tandem there with number 3, which is relational safety, which is being in relationship with people who fundamentally respect our boundaries, respect our no's, value our emotions. And even if they're disappointed, they're not going to attack us. They're not going to tear us down. They're not going to gaslight us. They're not going to name call. They're not going to twist the truth. They're not going to do what's called DARVO, which is deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. These are classic narcissistic abuse tendencies. But they're also not going to withdraw. So if you're dealing with an avoidant, they're not going to withdraw from you. Or if they're anxious, they're not going to try to control you. Peace is a product of being in alignment with ourselves, being in alignment with safety, and being in alignment with clarity. It's not about sameness. It's not about agreement as much as it is, am I clear? Are they clear? Am I willing to let people be disappointed? Can bring you an enormous amount of peace because you're not carrying the burden anymore for other people's feelings and points of view. So in a paradoxical way, peace is about letting go of a lot of things in order to maintain alignment with what produces peace for you. For me, space is a big deal for my peace. So I have space in my schedules. I have space in my relationships. Because space allows me to breathe. It allows me to have the freedom I need and want and value. And it allows me to create commitments I want to create and define the container in which those commitments exist in, aka relationships or agreements. Oops, sorry for shaking the screen there. So peace is going to have some of its own individuality to you. For some people, peace is proximity, stable proximity in relationships. Sometimes peace is the freedom from a overburdening responsibility or accountability. Sometimes people find peace in taking more power in their world. Well, I'll tip the random bits on that one. So let's see. I want to feel that way too. Yes, boundaries. Now, boundaries are fun because they're not about other people. They're about you. Like, you can see my boundaries right now. Like, I physically exist. Yeah, this is my physical boundary. This is my apartment, my territory. The things I like are a boundary. Like, somebody comes into this and says, "Oh, you're so stupid for liking those things." See ya. Boundaries are about us. They're about sorting people in and out of our world to where they properly belong so that we are working with people who are in alignment with us. Because if we're to remain in alignment with ourselves, we need to also be building connection with people who are aligned with us too. So that's a trick there. I'm enjoying this. I do more discussions. But yeah, in me today is just the celebration and this honoring for the real courage it takes to do this work. And the privilege I feel in being able to impact your guys' world in it. And to really pay respects is, I guess, a term for it. But to give it that space, to let that respect and honor of it take up space. Because I think that's what really matters to me right now is because this is, see, I don't run a business. I do, but I don't. And I like to, in the coaching industry, there's a lot of transactionalism. Hey, take my course, blah, blah, blah. Something will happen. It's, when it comes to work with trauma, it comes to work with codependency, personal development, it's not a transaction, at least for me. It is a work. It is a soul. It's alive. It has things going on in it. Because we're real people. It's not like I went to the store and bought some fruit. It's soul work. It's heart work. It's person work. And I think that there's a lot of that lacking in the coaching industry. It's very mired in the transactionalism. Gotta get to the wealth kind of things. So I want to just call out that and put to light the respect I have for the work you guys do and the privilege I feel in being able to contribute to that and bring respect to that. So that's what's been on my heart today. Let me see what else is here. It's so much easier to see what I still need to heal and take what I already achieved for granted. It really is. Codependency, since it's got this huge shame element to it, tends to automatically dismiss the efforts we have done, the things we've accomplished. It tends to minimize them and make them irrelevant or small or non-important. Sometimes we do that consciously so that we aren't becoming the narcissist, for instance, if we're dealing with codependency from a narcissistic abuse angle, or becoming stuck up or selfish. Valuing and honoring, owning the work you've done, the things you've accomplished is healthy. It is outside the codependent spectrum. It's in the self-advocacy spectrum. You know, I'm quite, to be blunt, proud of what I've created in the work I've done here, and I've created my IT career, my relationships with my children, my friends, the things I've been able to do and have, because I've given myself permission to take up that space. I have a right to have pride in what I've accomplished and done. These things didn't just happen. The work you have accomplished, the things you've done just didn't occur one day and wake up like, oh, wow, that's gone. I haven't worked that out. Neat. You know, it didn't, somebody else didn't do it for you. You did the work. This is a you thing. Take some pride in that. Give that some space. Give that some like, oh, yeah, I'm a badass. Look at me. I did this. Yeah, you did. It's yours. One of my cliche sayings is do the work, get the results. You are doing the work, you're getting the results. Period. See, self-help isn't about the mentor, the coach, or therapist. It's about you and your work and the results you create. Now, some tools and some therapists, some things, some strategies will work better than others. Cool. But you still have to put them to work. It's not like you take a course and, wow, everything's better now. If that worked, wow, I'd be out of business or be a millionaire or something. It is the effort. And that deserves to be valued. You deserve to own that because it's yours. The results you create, yours. It's nobody else's. So yeah. Own that. Let it be. Okay, so Kaya also says, and gosh, I have been on that hike for a while already. Yep, I deserve to sit on a bench. Yeah. I've taken months off of just trying to heal. That's the other kind of thing we tend to get stuck in, is we really get fixated on, I gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal, gotta heal. And there's a place for it, obviously. But then there's the place where it isn't appropriate. Sometimes the place is like, well, I'm going to go live for a while. And I'm going to see what shows up and what I discover. And then I might work on that a little bit. Or if you determine a goal in your life, you're like, I want this. And then things show up and that you need to work through. Cool. Being fixated on just healing all the time is not healing. It's a comfort zone. Because then you don't have to explore actually living. That's really what the know yourself strategy is about, is starting to live again. To know, love, and live who you are. So, yes. Yeah, pride might be a stretch. But pride isn't egotistical in the sense of I'm better than someone else. That would be a narcissistic or insecure position. It's more like, damn straight I did that. That's mine. And the period, because that's a fact. I did it. It's mine. I'm making this video. It's mine. Clunk. It's just a factual response to reality. So, yeah, we have the right to occupy that space and to be proud of ourselves. So do it. Explore it. See what works for you. If that's what you want to do. If that's light for your body. Okay, my friends, my courageous, badass friends, keep going. Be gentle with yourselves. Take time to just breathe. Be kind with yourself. Remember to praise and appreciate all that you are doing, all that you're achieving, because it matters, but it's not because it matters to someone else. It matters because it impacts you, and you matter. You matter. And you matter to me, you matter to other people, but what's more importantly is when you begin to matter to yourself. Like, my feelings matter, my pain matters, my joy matters. And that's not selfish, because we're not taking something from someone else that we don't have a right to, or we're having some sort of entitlement to. We are acknowledging our own space, our own beingness. You exist, you're real, you're already taking up the space, so own it. And give yourself permission to take up a little more. There's plenty to go around. And as you begin doing that, and as more practice as you become in it, you're going to see that as you occupy your space, it blesses and empowers and grows others. Me taking up the space of me doing this work my way, I'm assuming based on the feedback I get, has made very positive impact for a lot of people. Not just me. Okay? So that's one of the bigger challenges, journeys going beyond codependency, is really living who we are and living in a really sober, honest, and direct way. So, okay. Yeah, the video does that. It does that, Charity. That Facebook's things are weird. But, okay. I appreciate you guys. Have a great, safe weekend. And allow whatever's there to take up a little more space. Just wanted to share these things. Yeah, my heart is like, okay, I'm good. I'm done. So I'll see you guys next week for our trainings and discussions on continuing to shift to power as we start to move into how we heal codependency by identifying the core causes of it and moving into February's work on going deep on healing codependency, attachment trauma, and all that fun stuff. Okay. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys in our next discussion.